let's just do a mic check. We are live. I'm gonna full screen it. I think that looks better, personally.
Full screen it.
Yeah, so I can click. I have the switcher, so I can click on you guys. You can see a Dapper Steve, and then you can see your plane logo there.
Yeah, no one gets to see me, bro.
All right, we are live, so
With my fresh cut.
Chad doesn't want to reveal his Kratos cosplay.
Nah, I'm very un-Kratos. I'm not bald right now.
Kratos cosplay.
Nah, I'm very un-Kratos. I'm not bald right now.
All right, you guys sound great. Well, say
Awesome.
something, Steve.
There you go.
That was you burping? All right, we're good.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion. It's your fella again, Straussman the GG. I feel like I just saw you guys, because I did. Thanks for showing up to the Super Mario Maker 2 Direct. We're going to have a full slate of E3 predictions. We got a lot of podcasts going on. I do apologize for having the lack of podcasts. I want to still talk PlayStation 5, State of Play. We got to do our E3 prediction show. There will be no stream Friday. I do apologize for that. The Bearded Wonder and I are going to MegaCon. We're going to go have some fun. It would be cool to dish out the new camera there, but I don't have the new camera yet. We are going to have a new camera on the channel pretty soon. I've been shopping around. I think I'm going to get a Sony camera. I think that's what I got it to, or put it down to. I think I'm going to go with a Sony camera. But welcome, as you can see by my shirt, I have summoned the Avengers. Not everybody, though. Shout out to JJ and Tim. They couldn't make it on the podcast tonight. But I do have the Bearded Wonder. Say what up, Chad.
Bums.
You
Bums
can't,
couldn't make it on the podcast.
You can't see his face because he's hiding right now. His Kratos cosplay. What's up, Steve Arena? How you doing?
We're good. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about this. I do apologize that it's been so long. The goal was to get everybody back, but man, I just couldn't do it. Like, everybody was just busy on certain days, and I understand. Life.
We got jobs.
Yeah, life and many other things are going on, and I understand.
And a particular person has two of each other.
Let's talk about Avengers Endgame. So this was the biggest event of the year for most people. The movie made what is close to making like $2 billion or something. It's ridiculous how much money they're going to make off this movie. But did it blow your dick out of the water, guys? Like, did it, like, was this the jam for you? Let's start with Chad.
I wouldn't say it blew my genitalia out of the water. That sounds really painful. But it was a very fun experience, I'll say that much.
Okay, what about you, Steve Arena? What was this movie to you? Did it blow your dick out of the water?
Not as much as I expected, to be honest.
Okay, interesting.
But it was still good regardless.
Okay, my next question to you guys. Well, let me talk about it a little bit because I'm kind of with you guys. It didn't like blow my dick out of the water. I actually really enjoyed Infinity War more. I know that's not going to be a very unpopular opinion. The critics didn't love Infinity War. The critics love Endgame. A lot of people say Endgame is a better movie, and it is great. It is fantastic. I don't know how they personally could do it better, to be honest. I mean, it was a incredible movie. But for me, it was a little slow in the beginning. It didn't feel like a 3-hour movie to me, but I did like enjoy Infinity War more. So how did the 3-hour runtime feel like for you guys? What about you, Chad?
Not too bad, actually. The first hour kind of dragged on a little longer than I would have liked it to.
Yeah.
But you could tell by, like, once you hit the midway point, after that, it flew by.
Yeah, it was a great movie, and I didn't feel it either. What about you, Steve? How was the 3 hours for you?
I will admit it was kind of slow at first, but it started to pick up. But I understand why it was kind of slow, because they were trying to show like how is everyone trying to cope with everything that happened.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially with
That
almost
5-year
half the
jump
planet gone.
blew my mind. I was not expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely was not expecting that 5-year jump. That was. It felt really smooth to me. I'm with you guys as well. I'm with Steve. It was a little slow in the beginning for me, but Steve's right. They did that because they wanted you to feel that the pain of loss for 5 years and seeing these guys being basically, wrecked for 5 years. Because the way it opened, where they, again, we're in a spoiler cast, people. Spoiler cast warning.
Oh,
It's been 3 weeks anyway, or 2.5 weeks anyway. But
don't forget the moment when it opened.
Right from the get-go. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, he's a hermit. He's a hermit in fucking space. He has like a space garden or some shit, or flowers or something going on. And they just go there and they immediately just murder his ass, like chop his head off. It took him like no time at all. And that was a really interesting opening for me. I was like, oh shit. Then the 5-year time skip, I was like, damn, they're really going in on this. The way they opened it with Hawkeye's family, though, I love that part. That part was great. Like, you see that, like, they just disappear and he doesn't even know. Like, and it, it turns him into a murderer. Basically, he just starts killing everybody. But it's really interesting. Like, was there, how'd you guys feel about that? Like, Thanos just getting murdered right from the get go. Let's start with Chad.
I actually liked it because I thought it. Once you kind of like watch the movie, you kind of understand why they did it that way, because it kind of explains why the whole quantum realm time travel thing happens.
Yeah,
because that's really the only way to fix everything. So it was kind of, it was set up nice, because it was kind of unexpected for them to go there and just like Thor to kind of get his payback strike and actually go for the head.
yeah. What about you, Steve? Did you like that?
How they killed Thanos?
Well, they opened up this like murdering Thanos right from the rip.
Well, technically, it was Thor who did the murdering. Everyone else was just right there to watch.
Well, they held him down. They held him down. But yeah, Thor kind of home run swung that. Good swing by Thor. Great swing.
Can't wait for the aftermath of Thor.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some fun stuff. Let's start with some of our favorite stuff, spoiler wise. I loved how they used Thor in this. I love Fat Thor. I thought Fat Thor was hilarious as shit, especially when they brought back what's the Rock dude's name? Korg? Is it Korg?
Yeah.
I love that Korg was back. He's like in Norway. He's super fat, and there's like beer everywhere. And they're playing Fortnite, and he's just threatening the kid's life and shit. He's like, I'm gonna go to the basement and murder you or some shit. He didn't say it like that, but he said it some way. It was super funny because, especially playing online a lot in 2K, a lot of people talk that way. It's very funny. But I love Fat Thor. So what'd you guys think of Fat Thor? We'll start with Steve.
I was literally like, what the fuck just happened?
He looked great in the fat suit, by the way. It looked awesome.
Why are you fat?
It's like, what the fuck? It's like, you see this? It's fucking real, dude. It's like, is that from all the bill just not working out? I mean, holy shit.
Well, he was depressed. Like the movie, like you guys said, it was a lot slower in the beginning because they wanted you to feel the loss, the pain of loss, and how people handle it. And his way of handling it was drinking
alcohol
endlessly and eating endlessly and just binging and playing games. And that's how he was coping with his loss, where, other people have other outlets of, handling the loss. Like you saw Captain America, he was, talking to people and letting them know, like they can move on. You'll find somebody. Don't worry.
Counselor Cap?
Go ahead, Chad.
It's Counselor Cap?
Yeah, Counselor Cap.
Yep.
Yeah. Was did you enjoy Fat Thor, Chad? What was your thoughts on Fat Thor?
Fat Thor was hilarious, dude. Thor is actually my favorite Marvel character. Well, out of this select cast
of this new generation.
Yeah,
because a very unique interpretation
I get why people don't like Dark World, but he's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is just a funny dude.
He has
So-
that very British dry humor, but it's nice. He does it like in a great way, like how they did it in Ragnarok with Taika Waititi. That was just beautiful. Like that was such a fresh experience of Thor. I'm excited to see him with the Guardians. You know, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Chad. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
But no, yeah, I love Fat Thor because, like I said, he besides Ant-Man and Paul Rudd also being really funny, like he brings the comedy to the movie, and it's just really enjoyable. I think he actually makes it more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like because it did pick up a lot for me with Fat Thor because the humor and him looking like the Big Lebowski, like
Yeah,
and
that
him
was
just
funny too.
and it's tough. Like I said, we all cope with loss differently, and how he coped with it ended up being a real funny thing, and it was a risky ass move. I could have saw a lot of people hating that shit, but you know it was just really awesome and well done how they did it. So what are some of your other favorite moments? Let's start with Chad. Like what were some of the big highlights for you in this movie?
I like the twist towards the end where past Nebula takes future Nebula's spot, and that's kind of how they get Thanos over.
Gamora technically kind of does that too. Oh, you're talking about the twist. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
Like,
Someone texted me. I looked over. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was really interesting because Nebula had a big role in this movie. But go ahead.
Huge role. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool how they incorporated her, like how she had to, like how her connection worked with her past self.
Yeah,
like that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was really interesting. That little time warping thing because she could hear the voices of her future self and vice versa. And that's how they kind of figure out the time heist plan because they weren't supposed to fuck with time, right?
Levi froze.
Yep.
They weren't supposed to.
He didn't have a net type problem.
You know, they weren't supposed to fuck with that, right? You weren't supposed to fuck with time, and they
trying to blame me for
hilarity ensues, right? You know, they're gonna.
Yeah, it's been happening to him for like the last week or so.
What happened? What happened? You guys can't hear me?
Yeah, he was saying something about he had to move the router.
Yeah.
And it kind of fucked things up.
Oh, you guys can't hear me? Hello?
Well, he better fix that router soon.
Right, he's completely frozen on my screen.
Yeah, but can you guys hear me?
I think he's got a hand coming up to his mouth. He's about to say something, and he's just frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
It's called he's frozen in time now, forevermore.
Legit, you guys can't hear me at all? Hello? Hello? Did I mute myself? I don't know. I'm looking at my end. It looks like I'm good. You get everything. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you were completely locked up on our side, bro. We couldn't hear you.
I'm going to have to edit some of that shit out. That was what, like 3 minutes?
I don't know.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry about that, guys.
The stream. We're going.
Whoa, no, we're live on stream for sure. What was I talking about? Fat Thor?
Yeah, he went to take his dog out real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. I was talking about... I was pretty sure I was talking about Fat Thor and... We were talking about Nebula. That's what it was, right? I'm sorry, guys.
We were talking about, just kind of like, what was our favorite moments of the movie.
Yeah, and you mentioned Nebula, and that was a really unique moment with her. Her, able to, see her future, like hear her future self thoughts and stuff. Because again, as we mentioned earlier, they weren't supposed to mess with time, right? And that's what they did. They fudged up with time. Hilarity ensues, and
they did and didn't at the same time.
Yeah,
because they weren't supposed to like the Infinity Stones couldn't stay out of their timelines.
Yeah, they mentioned they disappeared, right? For like ever, I guess.
What do you mean?
Didn't they mention the Infinity Stones were gone forever? In their current timeline? Like they were broke?
Yeah, because Thanos destroyed them.
Yeah, he he overused the snap. He did it like twice or whatever or some shit.
Well, no, he did the snap and then used the stones to destroy the stones.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why, like, you like, it's not like the stones like completely disappeared. It's just they were unusable. Think of it as like, think of the stones as like the universe. Like, so it's like a big bang. So when he did the snap, he destroyed all the stones. They like crumbled into dust. So they like spread out into atoms, and he like.
Well, yeah, that's a very good
time
point.
for them to come back together.
Well, we gotta wait till Steve comes back. I know he's gonna be a while for his dad. Some of my favorite moments though was I like the cap on cap fight or like past cap because they go back all the way to Avengers 1, which is great.
America's ass, bro.
What's up, Joel? How you doing? Sorry about the technical difficulties. Apparently, I know I didn't see it on my end, but sorry about that. But America's ass. That's right, Chad. It was America's ass, man. But I like how his younger self was kicking his, older self's ass, and then he lied. He's like, Bucky. I also like the wink to the Hydra nod to the comics. There was a lot of comic book moments in this that were very love letter to the fans. The Cap being a Hydra op. Cap versus Cap. The hammer. Cap lifting the hammer. That's another one of my favorite fucking moments. Is when he gets Mjolnir and he starts swinging that bad boy. That was an epic moment. What were some of your other ones, Chad? Go ahead, Chad.
It almost makes you kind of think, like, during Age of Ultron, when they were having the little contest and trying to pick it up, could he have actually lifted it then and just didn't because he didn't want to make everybody look bad?
Well, remember, he nudged it. Remember? And Thor got worried.
That's what people are saying. Like, people are thinking that maybe he could have done it then. Either A, he just wasn't he was not quite worthy enough yet, or B, he just didn't because he didn't want to, make everybody, freak out about it.
That's a really good point. What it is I think in the actual comic books, he actually does it the first time. In the movie, this is amazing how far they plan ahead. But he nudged it in the movie, and they start talking to him. Ultron. I think Ultron starts waking up or something and talks to him, and that's when he stops lifting the hammer, and that's okay, that's the biggest reason. But he was really scared. I like how Thor was nervous about it, but I like how they wrapped it all the way. They brought it all the way back in to this one, and they're like, they were like, they brought it all the way back in, and he ends up getting the hammer to fight, past Thanos. So we still technically got our epic battle with Thanos, because I was wondering about that in the beginning when they killed Thanos right from the rip. I'm like, shit, are we not going to get that epic battle? Because it was a little disheartening a little bit, because I'm like, after Infinity War, at least for me anyway, I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. You saw some of it on Showbox, Joel. What'd you think of it? But what about you, Chad? Any more memories you want to talk about?
The trip back, when they all go back through the portal and Thor and Raccoon go back to the Dark World scene, where they have to get the ether out of Natalie Portman, and Thor kind of is trying to man up, but ends up not manning up. That was pretty funny too.
That was really cool because they brought back a lot of moments, or they fixed a lot of moments people didn't like with those movies. And you got to see a little bit more of Thor's mom interaction, because she was pretty, again, spoilers for Thor 2, The Dark World, if you guys didn't see it. She gets killed off pretty early in the movie. So it was really, really fun. I'll read your, I do apologize, guys. I'll try to read your comments. We're trying to do a spoiler cast, but I'll try to get to your comments as fast as possible. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. She was killed off pretty quick in Thor Dark World, and it was cool to just have that moment with her son. But I like the fact And he didn't face Jane, right? It was Rocket that went to go get the
Yeah.
gem from Jane or whatever,
He runs away
the
and
Power
goes
Stone
to,
from
like,
Jane or whatever it was.
He runs away and then runs into his mom and ends up having the conversation with him or with
Yeah,
her. And that's when he gets Mjolnir to bring back.
Which was
like,
pretty damn cool.
Well, honestly, like, that kind of, like, sets up the whole Cap thing at the end with how he picks it up.
Yeah, he had to bring the, remember, because Mjolnir broke in Ragnarok, right? They killed it. You know,
Yeah.
or Hela, his sister,
there.
like, broke it. So he had to come back. That was a cool moment where he just puts his hand out and is like, he's like, yes, I'm still worthy, because he got that vote of confidence from his mom. And his mom mentions that she's a witch, so she kind of can tell that it's her son. And I love the fact she's like, maybe eat a salad or two. That was funny at the end before he leaves. That was a really good moment.
Yeah,
it was all right. You didn't like it, Joel?
I'm glad he doesn't, like, turn thin as soon as he gets either Mjolnir or his confidence back.
I like that a lot, too. He was still a fatso at the end of the movie. And he still, even when he had his new, his new beard, like, and everything, like, his braided beard and everything, he still was a chubby guy still. And I really like that. That, you're right, he didn't get his confidence back. I still think he will eventually get out of the Lebowski phase eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure by the time the Guardians movie comes out, he'll be good to go.
I really hope he's in that movie too, because him with the Guardians is a natural fit. Because
it kind of think about it. Like, if you think they're going in the direction that we all think they're going in with Adam Warlock, like, Thor is the only one who can really compete with them anyways, so they kind of need Thor.
And it was really interesting because they did bring James Gunn back, if you guys didn't know. And James Gunn, I don't know if they're rewriting the script or anything, but I think his original script, he wanted to have the most current version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that included Iron Man and Nova. But we'll talk about the Iron Man in a little bit. I don't want to talk about it yet. I still want Steve to come back, and hopefully he comes back soon. But you're right. You hit the money on the head. I did like how he got his confidence back, but he was still, not automatically slim, because it shouldn't work that way, right? You should still have to work to get that body back. But it'll be really interesting with Guardians 2. And you're right with the Adam Warlock situation. There's a lot of loose ends from the previous Marvel movies that haven't been wrapped up yet. And I like that they didn't have to acknowledge any of those in this movie. Like, like Adam Warlock, Doctor Strange's buddy turning evil. There's a lot of stuff that's still floating around in the Marvel Universe. I know this is kind of the end of the era of the MCU, but it's still going to go strong. I mean, it's
the end of the Thanos line,
Yeah, it's end of, the Infinity War saga / Thanos / OG Avengers. There's going to be some newer Avengers. Obviously, the end of Cap and Iron Man. You say time travel is just the easy way out, Joel? It's predictable. You hate Captain Marvel's lesbian haircut. Why are you such a hater, Joel?
I actually like her haircut.
Why are you such a hater, Joel?
I'm not a big Captain Marvel fan, but I like her haircut. I think she looks better with short hair.
Well, that is what she has in the comics, actually, usually. A lot of her iterations, she has the...
Brie Larson looks better with short hair is what I'm implying.
I don't know. I'm not... Steve's back. What up, Steve Areno?
Finally, you fixed your shit. Damn.
I don't know if I fixed it. I just left the call and came back, and re-invited you guys back. But what we were still talking our favorite moments, and we were talking about...
the Nebula part?
We talked about Nebula, but what did we were just talking about? Fat Thor a little bit more again?
I think that was you.
Random stuff.
Yeah, we were kind of... What was another favorite moment for you, Steve? Go ahead.
Let's see. The part when he kind of went back in time and it was still in Rocket Raccoon. When they had to get that other piece of the stone.
Chad just said that too. We were talking about that, where he goes to see his mom again, and that was a really nice moment because he gets Mjolnir back, and we were talking about how we like the fact that he got his confidence back, but he's still kind of a fatty. And we're not trying to offend anybody. This is just our opinions of the Marvel universe and stuff, because we will get into some touchy stuff later. I am going to ask some tougher questions later, but that was a really fun moment, Steve. That was a super fun moment. One of my other favorite moments that I talked about when you were gone was Captain America versus Captain America and the Hydra wink, the Hydra nod, Hail Hydra. That was a really fun moment. What'd you guys feel about the big green man? What do you think of Professor Hulk? I want to know what... Go ahead.
God. Dude, it was just fucking weird. It was funny, though, because
you don't like the dab?
What Hulk is supposed to be.
Are we dabbing on stream?
Well, pretty much you're the only one dabbing.
Yeah, I know. You guys are just pitchers.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
but
Chad.
Anyway, I'll get this from the chat.
Wait, what were we talking about?
What'd you think of Hulk? Professor Hulk.
Oh, Professor Hulk? I kind of like how... I like how they kind of like settled that feud between them.
Yeah.
Because they kind of needed like an excuse for Hulk to come out of his shell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a nice way, and I like how they explained it too, where he said he was thinking about the Hulk the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then he said, he accepted him, and then they finally kind of just merged, because they did that in several Incredible Hulk comments, where sometimes Hulk takes complete control of Banner, and vice versa, or Banner becomes Hulk all the way around. Not just saying just big angry guy, but he has full control, just like he is in this one. And I liked the fact that they were trying to figure out they're trying to figure out how to do time travel with him, but he didn't really know how to do it, and they were messing up a little bit. I think Ant-Man's role in this movie was really well done. I like that a lot. And I like Hulk's moment. The only thing I didn't like about Hulk is he didn't really get to fight at all. We didn't really get to see the Hulk.
Nah, he was kind of there more for a plot device, truthfully. Like, just
You're absolutely right.
Which is kind of weird. But at the same time, like, him and Banner actually merging together makes sense that he's a little more, on the chill side and not Hulk smash.
Yeah, he's taking kids. He's taking photo with kids. We're Ant-Man. Nobody knows who Ant-Man is. Well, sad face.
When they all go back and they're at the Battle of New York or whatever, and they see the other Hulk, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe you should smash some things on the way along. On the way there."
Yeah, I love that moment.
Like just kind of like hits it. Hulk smash.
Yeah, it's a little derivative, but I'll do it, I guess. It was super funny. I like that. And I like how they brought, the Ancient One back, and he was talking to the Ancient One for a little while. And he had to convince her to give him the stone, and she's like, did I choose wrong, that I chose the wrong, Doctor Strange, the wrong wizard anyway. That his actual name is Doctor Strange, but it just coincides with that. Professor Hulk was just weird for you. That fits She-Hulk better. Well, they do that a lot in the comics, actually, Joel. Like, the Professor Hulk thing is OG thing where they do that. We kind of just explained that a little bit. Any other moments you guys want to touch upon before we touch on some negatives and some other stuff? Some of the bigger, heavier stuff that we're going to cover?
No, I'll save the rest of what I want to talk about for when we talk about the ending of the movie.
Yeah, what about you, Steve? Any other fun moments you want to talk about?
Fun moments.
Well, some of your favorite moments. So we covered a lot.
Oh, wait. There was one.
Yeah.
It was the part when he finally got Yoki when he was showing the first Avengers. And then he had to tell Hulk to go take the stairs.
Yeah, he got so pissed off he had to take the stairs, and he ended up knocking everybody. They ended up fudging that up. One more moment I want to touch upon is Iron Man going to see his dad. I really like that moment because Steve, it's a nice segue we're leading right into, because Steve mentioned that they went to the very first Avengers movie and they fudged that up. So they had to go back even further in time. And he goes to see Howard Stark, and then, Cap obviously sees Peggy Carter, or the shadow of her, and whatever. But it was really a nice moment because we never got to see that moment between Tony and his father. And man, the CG on Hank Pym and Howard Stark it was incredible. They looked really young. Like, it looked really, really well good. Like, really good, sorry. Well good. Wow. Words all over the place. But I like that moment a lot where he actually got to talk to his dad and actually got a hug. Well, he forcefully hugged his dad, but I really like that moment because he got to talk to his dad about being a father. Because Tony, Iron Man in the comics has never had a daughter. That was a completely new character. Again, another spoiler. There's a little Stark in the family now because of that 5-year time skip. And it took him a lot of convincing, right? To join back with the time heist, right? What are we following? Back future rules? You know, what are we following? Hot tub time machine rules? That was really funny how they kind of had to clarify it as well. And it's like, Back to the Future bullshit?
I'm pretty sure they don't know what the fuck time rules are even trying to do anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
not only that, but
I really like that moment. I don't know how you guys felt about that moment, but I like that moment with him finally getting to... Because he hated his father most of the part. Because his father always talked about Captain America. And he only knows the bad side of his dad. He doesn't know the great side of his dad. So it was a nice moment when they, talking as fathers. Because he's a father now. I really thought that was a greid moment. What'd you guys think? What'd you think, Chad?
It was a little cheesy. Like I said, that was actually the time I went to the bathroom.
Oh, is that the time you went to the bathroom?
Wow.
You're a bastard man, Chad. You are a bastard.
Perfect time to go.
What about you, Steve Areno? What'd you think of that moment?
That was a touching moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he finally got a little bit of closure.
Yeah, that's why I like, because it was foreshadowing a lot. There was a lot of foreshadowing with Tony, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. I want to talk about some of the negatives for you. Like, what was some of the negatives? I'll start first. And it's a little bit of nitpick. It's super nitpicky, but the rat freeing Ant-Man from, the quantum realm was kind of lame, in my opinion. It was kind of a easy cop-out. I was hoping it would be Ghost or Giant.
She got snapped, bro.
Helping it out, but it ends up just being a fucking rat that frees Ant-Man for no reason. And they talk about how the quantum realm, the 5 hours he's been in there, equivalated to the 5 years, in time. And he saw his older daughter, Cassie, grown up now. That was part of the earlier stuff, the slower stuff of the movie. But that was a little nitpicky moment for me. That was one negative. What are some of the negatives for you? Let's go with Steve first.
Some of the negatives.
Yeah, what bothered you about this movie? Was there anything? Because you guys talked about how it didn't blow your dick out of the water, and how, I talked about how I liked Infinity War more than this.
Okay, so the thing that really bugged me was no one could decide which time rules this is supposed to be. Because let's get back to the first Avengers for a moment.
Yeah.
You saw how the Hulk smashed the fucking door and hit Tony, right? And you saw how the Infinity Stone went into Yoki's hands?
Yep.
Okay, that's where they kind of messed up because he took it and disappeared.
Yeah, but that's why they went further back in time to go see how, his dad.
Okay, but like this...
Because they fucked that moment up because he took the time stone and he was probably fucking the universe up, which was super funny. But go ahead, continue.
Well, that was the thing too because they're saying this does not apply to Back to the Future rules. So, in anything, this applies to Dragon Ball Z rules when it comes to the future.
Hey, man, Back to the Future is bullshit.
Yeah, fuck you. I love that movie.
I love that movie, too. Anyway. And coincidentally, they're going to be at MegaCon as well. Shameless plug.
Oh, nice.
What about you, Chad? What was some of the negatives for you? Did you have any?
Killing off the best female character.
Oh, yeah.
Black Widow. That was an interesting move that Black Widow was going to die. But go ahead, continue.
No, well, the shittiest part about it is when you first realize that they're the ones going to where the Soul Stone is.
And he ain't going to die.
Yeah, because he's fighting to get his fucking family back. Like, ScarJo's going down, and it's just like, why are they doing this?
It's very odd, too, because she's getting a movie, right? But I guess it's going to be a prequel movie.
Oh, yeah, it's a prequel. It's going to show... I'm pretty sure it's like her origin story.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's just so depressing. Like, and then like to have her not there in the final battle it was just weird.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my least favorite part of the whole entire movie.
Was the final
Like
battle?
I don't get it. I don't understand how you kill off not only what was the strongest female character, like story wise,
Well, they kind
but
of roped themselves in the corner, and she was the only one that could really sacrifice herself because she doesn't
yeah,
have a family. She can't
that
make a
makes sense.
family. You know, she's
Like
neutered
it also made sense
essentially.
for Nebula to do it. You know,
Yeah, right. Let's just push the blue robot chick off. Let's just push the blue robot chick. Yeah, it was really like as soon as you like you said, as soon as both of Hawkeye and Black Widow were there, you know she was going down. You know she was gonna die. 100% she was gonna die. Um, like I did.
and like the fact that they had to make her so determined about it too is like, it was gross.
Yeah,
It was not
it's
enjoyable.
interesting. It made sense story wise for me because she didn't have a fan. Like her only fam was them. You know, because she couldn't have a fan. She couldn't have a normal life, which was a bummer. You really feel for her because she was struggling for a while there. Those 5 years where the others were kind of moving on. Um, I found it very interesting. It's not really a nitpick for me, but I found it really interesting that Captain Marvel, all this hype about Captain Marvel, but they didn't really use her at all in this fucking movie. She was gone like 85% of the movie. How'd you guys feel about that?
He was technically in the two most important parts of the movie.
Yeah.
That's all she needed to be in
All
because after all the hate she's getting, yeah, just don't
Yeah,
put up
maybe
nothing
so.
more.
Maybe so. Maybe after that backlash, that movie still made like $900 million though. Like it was a solid movie. We didn't do a spoiler cast on it or anything, but it was solid. It was a solid
because
movie. It
the
wasn't super
yeah.
amazing. This movie was incredible. This movie's really really good. I know we talked about how it's not blowing our dick out of the water, but it was a great movie. Like I don't know how you could really do it better. Like, could you guys think of a better way really to do this movie? Maybe trim some of the fat from the beginning. But I think that might take away from the movie if you do
Yeah, that
that.
would probably
Yeah,
especially because they were using it to set up like a lot, like explaining how the time mechanics were working, and just to kind of like set everybody in stone with like, yeah, you guys got to get come to grips with what happened. Like this actually happened. Thanos literally snapped everybody away,
Yeah.
and they're gone. So they wanted to make you feel that. So
Yeah, and you did for sure. You see a lot of these guys go through a lot of
But
pain and handle
what I
like
will
we talked
say
earlier about Thor. Go ahead.
is from the time they do the time jumps, when they go back, like from that point on, the movie's arguably the movie is perfect. Like there's literally like zero complaints I have with the last half of that movie.
Yeah, yeah, it really picks up for me. It really picks up after Fat Thor and they start doing the time heist stuff. That movie flies by. Like it goes full throttle. Like it's really an amazing experience. Like it's gonna be fun to watch again. But I might skip that beginning a lot. I might skip like the first like 40 just to kind of get to the
Go
the
to the
funner
movie
stuff.
like 35 to 45 minutes late.
Yeah, like I'll get into the funner stuff, but I understand. Like I said, like you guys said, I understand the purpose, that loss and that feeling, because you did feel it. Like when they killed Thanos right away, and they realized they can't really bring everybody back. The stones are gone. They're kind of screwed. And then Ant-Man magically appears because of a rat, which is the true hero of the movie, is the rat. If he doesn't free Ant-Man, nobody. If Master Splinter doesn't free, spoilers, Master Splinter is in this movie. If he doesn't free Ant-Man, they don't, none of the time heist stuff doesn't happen. They don't get to be, Avengers again. So, any other stuff you guys want to talk about negative-wise before we talk about Final Battle and future of Marvel? Because I think that's what you guys want to talk about, right? It's the Final Battle. Is that what you want to talk about, Chad?
Of course, I want to talk about the best part of the movie. Let's do it.
Yeah.
do it.
All right, go ahead. Start it off, Chad.
I mean, you're the moderator. Moderator.
I wanted. All right, so this is I don't know what your guys' theater experience was. I went on the first weekend on Saturday, and it was packed. But my crowd wasn't really a movie crowd. There wasn't a lot of cheers and woos and exciting moments for them until this final battle. Like this final battle when Cap brought picked up Mjolnir and was fighting Thanos.
I'm there to watch a movie. I'm not in an amusement park ride. I don't want everybody screaming and shit when something cool happens. Like, smile, have a laugh, but don't go, woo! Yeah! Like, I hate that crap. That takes you out of the experience.
I feel you, but I got the theater got hyped as fuck when they brought everybody back. When everybody started coming through Doctor Strange's portals, everybody is, I'm not gonna lie to you, I knew they were coming back, but I was still hyped as shit when I saw Spider-Man swing on by. Like, I was like, fuck yeah, that was a big moment, and I was one of those woos, so I'm sorry to my fellow theater goers, but we were all doing it. We were all, like, hyped as shit, because that was an epic-ass moment when everybody comes back to fight Thanos' army, and they really handled it well. This was a great way, because we saw both versions of Thanos. We saw homeless Scarecrow, gardening flower lover Thanos, and then we saw manipulative asshole that he doesn't care about. It made you hate him, because Infinity War, you really saw Thanos' perspective, and maybe you were like, hey, maybe he's not a complete asshole. But this movie proves that he's a complete dickhead, and that was an awesome way to do it, where he almost murders everybody again, and he's talking about how he is going to murder everybody again. But that was one of the best sequences, because this movie didn't have, I wouldn't say it had, I would say Infinity War had more action in it, but the action in this was great. Like, it was epic. That final battle where you see everybody, you see the Jatari, you see everybody, you see his Black Order back, everybody's back from the past, right? You see basically everybody, some people were neutered a little bit, like, Hulk really didn't, not a lot of people had big moments in...
Hulk was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt because of the snap he did to bring everybody back. So we didn't really explain, my bad, we didn't explain that they did get the Time Stones, the Infinity Stones, and they did, Hulk use his hand to bring everybody back because he felt like he was the only one that could take it, right? So he was, he was hurt a little bit, so you didn't really get to see that stuff. But go ahead, Chad, take it away.
All right, first of all, like, the whole Thanos thing, like, it makes sense because when you see him at the beginning of the movie, he's a more humbled dude because not only of what he's done, but he's also lived through the power of doing so and gaining that much power to begin with. So, like, think of him at the beginning of Infinity War when he already has the Power Stone. Like, he's kind of on that edge where you see where he's, like, trying to become a more sensible evil guy.
Yeah.
Rather than being the Mad Titan. In this movie, when, like, after you kill him, and then obviously he comes back through the quantum realm and shit, that's Mad Titan Thanos. Like, you get OG, I'm pissed off, I'm a jerk, I'm gonna kill everyone Thanos. Yeah, and that's why the final battle is as intense and as cool as it is, because, like, he literally takes Thor, Iron Man, and Cap to town for like 20 minutes. Like, he destroys it for 20 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
and the only thing that kind of, like, saves the whole moment is when Cap picks up Mjolnir and kind of, like, buys a little more time, and then you kind of, like, you get that last punch from him when he beats down Cap again and the shield's broken in half. Like, he drops Mjolnir, and then you get shit, I can't remember his character's name, dude.
Which character scene?
Falcon's character. Like,
Falcon.
Well, yeah, but what is that name?
Yeah, that's Falcon.
Yeah. And he's, like, talking to Cap in his thing, and Cap's, like, standing there like, where is this coming from? Like, who is this? Then all of a sudden the portals open up.
Yeah, that was such a hype-ass moment, man. That was cool as shit. where everybody kind of comes back. It was also interesting, the people that do come back, they don't really have a big too much in the movie, like Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Star-Lord, and all those guys. We forgot to mention about the Soul Stone is that they could not bring Gamora back, right? Everybody that is sacrificing the Soul Stone is dead, legit, forever, right? That's why you're pretty upset about, Black Widow's gone. She's gone forever.
Back either, because that's part of what happens with Hulk. Like, he even says it. He's like, I tried to bring her back.
Yeah.
Like, I thought about it really hard and I couldn't do it. Because obviously you're gone forever. Yeah. So, like, the fact that, like, Gamora's stuck in this timeline, like, it kind of, like, sets that other timeline where there is no Thanos now.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, in order. Because, obviously, like, everything that had to do with Thanos is gone from that timeline. And Gamora's stuck in this one. So
yeah, which is really interesting. It's going to be some fun in Guardians 3. Because this Gamora hasn't fallen in love with Peter Quill. Like, the first time she sees him, she knees him in the nuts. So it was just really funny. A really funny moment. Go ahead, Steve. You haven't talked in a while. What did you think of that final battle?
It was fucking awesome, to be honest. But when it actually came to a final battle, I think Infinity War had the best one. When it came to the epic fight.
Really interesting. I thought this Endgame battle it's close, man. It's like a flip of the coin. This one was pretty epic.
I thought the Endgame battle was way better. Because it was actually everybody fighting, and you actually got to see Thanos fight too, instead of it just being like, oh, well, we're fighting the Outriders, and it's the chick and the big lizard dude, and the Outriders, and not Thanos himself. But this, you had everyone. Everyone comes back except for obviously Black Widow. And they're all going to town on each other. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, let me read some comments really quick. I'm glad Captain Marvel was barely in the movie. I'm not too hopeful for the future that the OG cast is gone. They're not all gone. They're still there. You don't like Falcon. Okay.
That part of the fight where Thanos just goes, bomb them, and the ship just starts shooting all the shells down on the ground.
Yeah, that shit was epic.
And then they lift up and start shooting into space. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then it clicked in my head. I'm like, oh, yeah, Captain Marvel's flying in right now. Bingo. This is perfect. This is like the perfect way to use her character.
I felt the same way, too, because I was like, okay, they're really afraid of something. I'm like, oh, okay, it's Captain Marvel. But that's kind of my right. Oh, it's Captain Marvel.
That was sweet, though.
It was like a cool-ass moment, and I like how she, they had to nerf her a little bit because she's really powerful. But he had his stones, so stones cancel out her Infinity Stone. I think his Power Stone cancels out her. I forgot what stone she had.
He was draining all that energy, bro. The only reason why he was able to do it is because he was smart enough to take the Power Stone off the gauntlet and put it on his other hand to counter her.
Yep.
So while she was taking in the energy from the gauntlet, he got it. Like, technically, it was a cheap shot. It was almost like a sucker punch.
Yeah, a lot of ways it was, but that was the point to show you that Infinity Stones can cancel out each other because she gets her power from the Tesseract, which I forgot what stone that was. I forgot which one that one was.
The Tesseract is the Space Stone.
Space Stone. There you go. Yeah, that's what it was. That's her powers. What'd you think of the woman's moment with all the female ladies getting in there, even including Pepper for some reason? Now she could be an Iron Woman, I guess.
It's about damn time she got in the suit, bro.
Yeah, to me that was a little odd because she has never shown any willingness in any of the Iron Man movies to do it. But it was cool to see. Like, I understood. At first, I didn't recognize her. I was like, who the hell is that? Oh, okay.
Really?
That's Pepper. I get it.
As soon as she flew through the portal, bro, I knew it was her.
Yeah. Like, what'd you think of that moment, Steve? Did you like the woman's moment? Or you thought it was too PC?
It was too PC, to be honest. And eventually, if they do another Avengers, they're going to do an all-female cast of it.
You think so? You think they'll go that far?
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen.
I think they're prepping some of that for sure. At least the new Avengers. I definitely see Ant-Man's daughter, Cassie. She wants to be a superhero. She mentioned that in Ant-Man and the Wasp. How she wanted to be. She didn't really want Wasp to team up with him. She wanted to team up with him. And now that she's older, they did that time skip. They fast forward her growth. I could see her getting, because she is a comic book hero in the comics. I forgot her name. I forgot what it was, but it was a little PC. There's definitely some PC moments in this movie. Marvel does a pretty good job of not doing that too much. It's mostly Star Wars that does it way too much. Again, this is just our opinion. We are not trying to piss off the internet. Please do not stab me. We're just talking, and I just kind of felt that was just a little odd with Pepper just kind of flying in, but it's cool. I mean, it's interesting. The moment was blatant as hell. It was obvious as shit. Like, did you have any feelings on it, Chad?
Yeah, we're talking about how making your genitals jump out or whatever. That was the genital moment.
Was it? That's blew your dick out of the water? All the ladies kicking ass?
Yeah, well, of course, bro. Like, you want them all to have, like, prominent roles in the movie, and not all of them, except
First
for
of all,
Captain
I don't
Marvel.
want to say, there's a lot of great games and great movies with strong women. It's just a lot of people don't want to be force-fed the bullshit. And a lot of people saw that as bullshit a little bit. Because it is blatant as fuck that they're all like, oh, hey, we're all going to get together.
Cool, like,
but go ahead, continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It was cool to have them all, like, show up and have their little bout with Thanos for a couple seconds,
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't super long. It was only like 30 seconds, right? It wasn't that.
No, and they all got to, do a little cool little scene. Like, Valkyrie had her moment when she's flying her Pegasus and tearing up the ships and everything.
Yeah, it was cool to see Valkyrie back. Like, that was really cool to see her back. She was in this movie a little bit earlier, but she doesn't partake in any of the time heist stuff or anything like that. But it was cool to see her finally get on her Pegasus and start annihilating stuff. That battle was epic as shit. Like, it was. But I'm kind of with Steve a little bit. I think it was a little force fed. Again, we played a lot of great games lately with strong women, like Horizon Zero Dawn. I loved how they portrayed Aloy like that. It wasn't force fed to you and stuff. Like a lot of Star Wars movies are, like, what was the last one? The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi?
Not The Last Jedi, I'm an idiot. Return? What was it?
Solo.
No, not Solo. The one, but the actual Episode 8. What was that one called again? Forgot what it was.
The Last Jedi.
It was The Last Jedi. Okay, I was right. But as a Star Wars fan, I should know that. Star Wars is one of my favorite things. But they're really, like, force-feeding a lot of that stuff in Star Wars, for sure.
Not only that, but it was the person who had directing and writing the movie who kind of fucked it up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Rian Johnson definitely changed up a lot of stuff, so it'll be interesting how they're going to kind of retcon all that. Different spoiler cast. Let's move. Let's keep it going. Let's get to the ultimate sacrifice, and the ultimate foreshadowing was Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. After I saw the movie, I realized that moment now was when Tony Stark's like, okay, you said there's 14 million ways. What's the best way to do it? And he goes, if I tell you, you won't do it. So that was a big indication to me that, oh yeah, they're gonna kill him. And JJ was right on the money with this. I said I think Captain America was gonna stay back in time, so I'm half right. On that. But Tony, because I thought Tony was gonna be the next Nick Fury and the next phase of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff like that. But no, they legit, he passed on. He legit, he said he didn't want to do this because he had a daughter and he didn't want her growing up, just with her mom, and he makes the ultimate sacrifice. So how do you feel about that ultimate sacrifice from Tony Stark? Let's start with Steve. Go ahead.
About the ultimate sacrifice that he had to make against his own will?
It's like, well, he did it. This wasn't against his own will. He jumped to it. He did it. He wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm. Which was a good thing, because Strange did tell him there was only one chance he had.
Yep.
And he didn't tell him how it was going to happen.
Yep.
So good move on his part, because that kind of sucks. But at the same time, there should be no more Iron Man.
Okay,
So
so
you
you're
just
kind of
say
burnt
that
down on
now.
Iron Man. I think he's one of my top 5 characters. Even before there was, because when they hired Robert Downey, it was a huge risk. Hiring Robert Downey because he had a lot of drug problems and he was not doing so well in acting. So they took a big risk on signing him and it paid off. He started the MCU, and I kind of found it fitting that he kind of ended, well, quote unquote, put a ribbon on this part of the MCU. I think it was a kind of a beautiful end, very sad end. But go ahead, Chad. What did you want to say about it?
It's only fitting that the most selfish character had to make the most selfless, sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, it wrapped a nice little bow on his story. And, it sucks to see him go because he, technically, he is the face of Marvel in a way.
Well, he started it for
Cap.
sure.
Yeah, to me, it was never Cap. It was always Iron Man.
Yeah.
And obviously it's gonna suck not having him around, but at the same time, someone had to do it.
There's some ways they could bring him back, though. There's several ways they can. Not back to life. Hold on,
don't want to ruin the story, bro. They can't bring him back.
Well, yeah, not what I'm saying.
Can't.
There's ways they could bring. He can be a next Jarvis or an AI type character, hologram type character.
Well, I think you kind of get a spoiler hint in the Iron Man or the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
With, when Spider-Man's wearing his glasses.
Yeah. I think he is gonna be a voice of reason, for sure. And they might switch it up. In that trailer they were talking about, maybe Spider-Man being the next Iron Man or something like that, which would be really interesting. I don't think they go that route. I think it's going to be his daughter.
Not becoming the next Iron Man, though. He's just stepping into the role of being a leader.
Yeah. Well, he's a kid growing up, but I think his daughter, this new character, I forgot her name. Morgan Stark, this completely new character, she'll probably take up the mantle at some point, I think, of Iron Man. Because we don't know when the only thing we know is Spider-Man Far From Home and Guardians 2. Or 3. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We don't know anything else, but we kind of got a hint from how this ending. So let's talk about Cap's ending. How did you feel about Cap kind of hanging up the mantle and becoming an old man Jenkins? Go ahead, Chad.
See, I like how you think how Iron Man's going to kind of be around somehow. I think that's what Cap's going to be doing. I think they purposely made him old so he could technically pass on the shield and just stick around as a mentor or motivational speaker to the rest of the Avengers that are left.
It's amazing that he lived that long, to be honest.
Yeah, when they need advice, because he's not going to die. He's still going to live a longer life.
Yeah.
So he might even have the Stan Lee cameo roles.
Now that you mention it, I can definitely see that now. I can see that. Because out of everybody though, he did want to stop. Chris Evans wanted to move on. Nobody else has really shown. Excuse me, sorry. No one else really shown the eagerness to give up the role. Tony still wanted to be. Not Tony, I'm sorry. Robert Downey still wanted to be Tony Stark and still wanted to keep playing the roles, but, I think he's going to be AI, though. I think he'll be a voice or something. He'll have some cameos. But you might be right on the Cap's part. He might be, the next old man Jenkins of, the Stan Lee roles where he's oh, yeah, young whippersnapper and stuff. How'd you feel about the ending of Cap's era, Steve?
Of him not finally being Captain America no more?
Well, we'll talk about the shield in a second, but what just of the character being done? The mantle being over.
Well, that probably was a good way to end it because it could have ended somewhat differently. He could have died in battle, honorably.
Yeah, which a lot of people thought. A lot of people was one of the two is going to go. It's either going to be Cap that makes the sacrifice or it's going to be Tony. A lot of people were divided. JJ said Tony's going to make the sacrifice. I said Cap is going to save everybody by going through time and staying back in time. That was going to be the sacrifice, and you know, he was right, and I'm kind of half right. I mean, he did stay back in time, but he did it for his own selfish reason because he wanted to be with the love of his life, Peggy. He missed her very, very much. And like I said, it's kind of fitting for both characters. Nice big bow. So we can talk about the Shield now. You know, a lot of fans are really upset about this and of Falcon getting the Shield. But as you told me, I never knew this of the comics before, but Falcon does take up the mantle of Captain America a couple times in the comics. 1994 and like 2005 or something like that. Like, not
he's
super
like
recently.
Super Cap.
But he does take up the mantle. A lot of people want Bucky to, like, because a lot of people know that Bucky takes up the mantle as Captain America. I'm sorry, I was reading comments of Captain America. That's how we all know it. And I still think that can happen. I'll explain my reasoning after I get your guys' take. And how'd you feel? Well, we'll start with you, Steve, since you wanted to mention it. How'd you feel of Cap giving up the shield to Falcon?
Honestly, I thought it should have been Bucky.
Well, do you see it as like a black Captain America, or do you see it as Falcon as a shield? Because I kind of see it as Falcon as a shield. But you can go
Falcon as a shield, to be honest, dude, because Falcon doesn't have any powers whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
the only thing
true.
He has is he worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., and if I remember right, wasn't he like a veteran?
Yeah,
so
he was in the war.
He served in the army like Captain America did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would make sense. But choosing Falcon over your buddy? Damn.
Bromance. So I still think Bucky might... I think they're going to please both fan bases with that, and I'll explain it in a little bit. What do you think, Chad? What do you think about that?
I was
and
cool
be honest, because I talked to you on the phone, you dickhead.
Yeah, but I told you on the phone, like, I was cool with it because I don't believe they're going to go the, Falcon's going to become Captain America route. I think he's going to have the shield for a little bit.
Yeah.
Do the pseudo Cap thing with the shield, and then once Bucky's technically
ready
back to normal, because gotta remember, Bucky's taken like big hits in the last couple movies.
Bucky legit hasn't really had any growth yet, so I think.
Because he's technically he's almost just like Falcon in a sense. Like, the only thing special about him was his metal arm. And, Spider-Man shows you in Civil War, like, your metal arm ain't shit, bro. Like,
he does have the same powers as Cap, though. He does have he has the same serum in him than that Cap does.
I don't think it's the same serum.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the serum in him, actually. I think he just is a better fighter because of the mind, like the
Russian
mind
stuff.
game that Hydra played on him or whatever.
Yeah. I think he does because they made 6 more of him with the serum, and he killed them all. Like that bad guy in Civil War killed all the. He's like, I didn't want more of you guys running around. You guys are freaking strong and crazy. Which was an interesting twist. I didn't expect that at all either. I think they're gonna please both fan bases. I think it is gonna be Falcon as the shield. Maybe he does don the suit. I don't know. I think they're gonna appease both fan bases. I think Falcon will have the shield. There's been a lot of rumors that Sam and Bucky are gonna have a movie for a while now. It's been going around for a few years now, and I think that could be one of the future movies. So I think they're gonna appease both audience. I think Bucky will have, like Chad just said, like Bucky's been basically a side character since
Civil War.
Civil War, really. He hasn't really had his arc to grow yet. And we need to see him grow to take the mantle. And I think we will. I don't think they'll kill off Falcon and he'll get the mantle that way. I think they're going to have some sort of buddy cop movie. Have a really, good movie, some character growth for Bucky, and I think he will eventually take up the next Captain America. But I think we need to see some growth from Bucky. But I don't get this. I don't get the sense that Falcon's just going to be Captain America. But he might. I don't know. They might go that route. I don't think they're going to. I just think he's Falcon with a shield. And again, this is just our opinion. I'm not trying to hate on anybody's opinion. I'm just saying, it's just our opinion. Just respect our opinion. We respect your guys' opinion. Do not freak out. That's just how I feel about it. And
I don't respect anybody's opinions.
What happened?
I don't respect anyone's opinions.
Yeah, you would hate Falcon as Captain America, Joel. I don't think they're gonna do it. I don't think so, but they might. I don't know. I'm not a screenwriter. I'm not into that. I don't know if they're gonna. We've seen a lot of big companies. Some of the biggest companies in the world. We didn't really touch about it in NetherRealm in Mortal Kombat, but they went a very PC approach to the game, and a lot of companies, a lot of these big companies are bending the knee over. They're bending over for these people that don't appreciate their movie and don't buy their movie or video games and stuff, which I don't understand. But it's just kind of how the state of the industry is. And hopefully we'll get through that and people will suck it up a little bit in the sense that some companies will have some balls and just stick their ground. Because, there's a big game we're going to talk about later in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and there's no win with Tifa. You're going to either piss off a bunch of people in the fan base, or you're going to piss off the social justice warriors with Tifa. Either she's going to look like she was in the older games, or she's going to be, flat-chested as man can see and covered up from head to toe. So there's no win with Tifa. They've been hiding Tifa a lot, if you notice in the recent trailers of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Sorry, we are normally a video game podcast, and when we talk about video games, we'll talk about that in another time, but it's just really odd to me that all these big companies are trying to just cater not to their fans. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know how you guys feel. Do you guys feel the same way about that?
Ratings are there for a reason, brother.
What'd you say, Chad? Sorry.
I said ratings are there for a reason, brother.
Yeah. What about you, Steve? How do you feel? You feel like that's kind of how the industry is going right now? A little too PC? Maybe
yeah.
Suck it up a little bit?
Dude, honestly, PC is never a good thing. I mean, look at Last of Us. Did that look PC to you? Well, except for A being the main character.
Last of Us Part 2, yeah, it's definitely pretty PC, to be honest with you. Neil Druckmann's very into the social justice stuff. Very much so. That's why a lot of people were really mad that Ellie's the main character. But if you play Last of Us Part 1, you find out that she's that way. How she talks about her friends and stuff like that. But they definitely gone, a lot of these companies, and just how Sony's handling the censorship, that's very PC. They're trying to get out of the gate before they get backlashed on their Japanese titles with these underage girls that are big-breasted and shit. So, censorship, I'm going to say this right now. I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but I don't fucking believe in censorship, and I don't really...
No one does.
...really believe in SJWs as much. I don't think they... there's nothing wrong with being a social justice warrior. That's cool. That's awesome. I respect you. But a lot of those people are just on the bandwagon and don't really respect what that really means. And it's just really interesting that these companies are kind of just, like I said, they're just kind of just falling in line for it. But I get it. I understand you want to make a lot of money, right? They feel like even if it's a small percentage of those social justice warriors, if they're like 5% of your money and revenue, you still want that, right? If you're a big company, right? You still want that money, right? You don't want the money to go. And as fans, we're still going to buy and we're still going to go, right? We're not going to stop going to Marvel movies and we're not going to stop buying, video games. I'm still going to buy my Japanese games, but I might not buy them for PlayStation. Maybe I'll buy them for my Switch, because they're uncensored then. But we'll see how things are handled. It's just really interesting. I'm not trying to make anybody uncomfortable. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to piss anybody off. We don't get a lot of hate on the channel. I'm just trying to be honest with how I feel on some of the stuff. I don't know how you guys feel. You guys don't have to say anything. on that. But what do you think with the hints of Spider-Man and the multiverse Far From Home trailer? What do you think are some of the next movies lined up in the Marvel MCU universe? What do you want to see? We already talked about, I think there is going to be a Sam and Bucky Black Widow movie. We know Guardians 3, and we know Far From Home. But what else would you guys like to see? Where do they go from here? Go ahead, Steve.
Honestly, I do not want to see another shitty Fantastic Four movie. If they're going to do another one, just do not make it shitty.
That was one of our predictions that didn't come true. We didn't see any Fantastic Four or X-Men at all.
Bro, I don't want to see any Fantastic Four or X-Men in it. Like the only way I want to see Fantastic Four in it is if they somehow want to bring Doctor Doom as a bad guy.
Yeah.
But even then, like, you still have a lot of options to work with.
Yeah, because we all thought it was Secret Invasion, right? We all thought it was going to be Secret Invasion, Skrulls invading. Maybe Thanos did us a favor with the snap and killed all the Skrulls for us. And then we brought them back. And maybe some of our favorite heroes are Skrulls, but they flipped that script. And I actually liked that twist in Captain Marvel. I thought that was really good. That kind of blew my mind. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So I could see Doctor Doom and I could see Galactus as like the next big enemies. And I think Fantastic Four and X-Men are coming back. I think I heard, though, they can't use X-Men until 2025. Can they wait that long?
I don't think they can, to be honest.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, go ahead, Chad. Why do you not want to see
popular.
Fantastic Four and X-Men? I want to see X-Men. Big time. I
Much
want to see
like
Wolverine and Spider-Man. I want to
Much
see
like
Deadpool.
what Steve was saying, when you've done something so many times,
Yeah.
it's hard to make something better.
Yeah.
And not saying that Fantastic Four was any good to begin with.
Yeah, they
but
never had those good movies to
Fantastic
begin
Four
with.
is just kind of like a bland, like, it's bland superheroes, bro. Like, no one's really excited about it. I wouldn't be excited about it. So
I would be.
it's hard-
I love the Fantastic Four, and I would like to see Marvel actually handle it. And now they do. Marvel actually has the rights to it, and they can actually make a great Doctor Doom and great, Fantastic Four.
That's the best part about Fantastic Four is
Doctor Doom.
A lot of villains. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really the Fantastic Four themselves.
I don't know. I just don't think they've been done right. What about you, Steve? You want to see like Fantastic Four back? Because to be honest with you, to really think about it, like Captain Marvel kind of took Silver Surfer's role a little bit in this movie, where she was kind of flying around protecting the universe and stuff. If you really think about it, that was kind of Silver Surfer's role a little bit, which is really interesting.
It kind of was.
But go ahead.
Do I really want to see the fucking, what was it? Fantastic
Well, yeah,
Four
do you
back?
want to see X-Men, Fantastic Four? You don't want to see... They're going to use these characters, guys. Whether you want it or not, they're going to bring them.
I want to see X-Men and Spider-Man together. Yeah,
I want Wolverine and Spider-Man are my two favorite superheroes of all time. And it's about damn time we see them in a movie together. And I want to see Wolverine and Spider-Man together. That'd be cool.
If Hugh Jackman isn't Wolverine, though, would you want to see Wolverine?
He said he would come back for Avengers. But
he did say that too.
I don't know. Like, I think they're going to move on. I think Chad said this earlier, not on stream, but off stream. I think they are going to probably move on from Hugh. But I know Hugh wants to come back and do that, and he wants to do a Deadpool movie with Ryan. Or Ryan Reynolds is trying hard to get him to be in a Deadpool movie with him.
No, he is. He's trying hard.
And plus, the statement of Marvel acquiring Fox, they immediately said that Deadpool and Wolverine movies will be rated R. Big emphasis on Wolverine and Deadpool. So, I think we're going to see those characters somewhere in the MCU eventually. Probably not in a rated... Like, if they cross over the MCU, they're not going to be in a rated... Like, if they do, like, if they hop in Avengers, it'll be PG-13, of course. They're not going to make Avengers rated R, like Avengers 4 or whatever the next one's going to be. Because we'll have more, for sure. We're just going to have a newer cast and newer people. Thor definitely looks like he's joining the Guardians. But where else do you want to see them go, guys? So if you guys are not super favor of X-Men and Fantastic Four, what else do you want to see then?
Well, I never said anything bad about X-Men. I like the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Some of them, anyway.
Yeah. But nobody
But
else you want to
Fantastic
see? None of
Four,
your other fan favorites? Where do you think they're going? Or we're just going to have to wait till July when they reveal it all?
You don't even talk about your favorite, which is Moon Knight.
Oh my god. I would hope and pray every night, Steve, that Moon Knight will make an appearance, but I don't know, man. If Moon Knight ever makes an appearance, it will be in a Spider-Man game, and that'll make me happy enough, because video game's my favorite medium of all time. And I can hope and pray that they were talking about doing a Moon Knight Netflix series, but as you know, Disney is doing their own Disney Plus stuff, and they're going to have a Scarlet Witch, and they're going to have a Loki spin-off on that. So
Not only that, but they also acquired Hulu.
Yeah, which is really interesting. Yesterday, there was some breaking news that they acquired Hulu. So Disney owns everything, man. They're monopolizing everything, and I don't know if that's really great. Even though they've done such a great job with Marvel, they let Marvel be, but they totally fudged up Star Wars. As a huge Star Wars fan, they really have fudged it up. It has been all over the place. They have not been... The newer Star Wars have not been great. People will always appreciate the older ones. And I'm not talking about episode 1, 2, and 3 for some of you younger kids. I know that's some of your first ones. Well, I'm talking about 4, 5, and 6. People
1, 2, and 3 are better. I think 1, 2, and 3 are better than 4, 5, and 6, but that's my own opinion.
You are a bastard man, Chad! Go to hell!
I think...
Just because they're
like episode 3.
It doesn't mean they're bad movies.
Yeah, I remember going to them as kids and rewatching them now. I don't hate episode 3. I think episode 3 is pretty cool. Episode 2.
I like episode 3.
Episode 1 was really good.
I don't know. Just the actor that played Anakin just didn't do a good job. Like, this is Darth Vader. He's a whiny little bitch. Like, come on, man.
I mean, technically, Luke's a whiny little bitch for 2 fucking movies.
He had his hand chopped off by his father! And to be fair, he kind of was a little bitch in this last movie, too. But
that's funny.
It really it was kind of a bummer. And Mark Hamill didn't help episode 8 at all. He destroyed that movie in every interview. He talked so much shit about episode 8. And there's a big part of episode 8 that could be cut out, too. You know,
but I'll be excited after Far From Home comes out to see what they announce for their next phase.
Yeah, like I didn't mean to spoil the trailer for anyone that didn't watch it, but they did mention multiverse and new Iron Man. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Anything else you guys want to wrap up on, or we'll end it here?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We did 1 hour and 23. I'm probably gonna have to trim like 5 minutes off. We did have some technical difficulties. I do apologize about that. Thanks for showing up for my Super Mario Maker 2 direct reaction. That was really fun. It was nice to hear some of your guys' opinion. You guys seem to like Super Mario Maker 2. I'm definitely interested in picking it up and playing it on the channel for sure. Especially that multiplayer mode. That will be insanity. Like all 4 of us playing. Definitely have to get the Golden God and Friends rally for that one. I want to shout out to my panel today. They were really awesome. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Chad, the Bearded Wonder. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming in clutch. Apologies on the lack of podcast, but we're going to start ramping up a little bit. I do want to, we have E3 coming up. I want to do our E3 prediction show. I want to talk PlayStation 5, State of Play. There's a lot of things talking about in the gaming world that we could, we got to rally together. So hopefully I can get these guys together again and we'll talk, PlayStation 5 or future of PlayStation 5 since there's been a lot of details and a lot of leaks and a lot of stuff like that I do want to talk about. So GG and Friends podcast should be back on shortly. I do apologize. I meant to have a lot more, but we've been pretty busy with all the newer games. I'm still trudging through Days Gone, enjoying and having a lot of fun with that game. But thank you to Chad. Thanks again to Steve Areno, your fellow Straussman, the GG. He's outie.